At Spencer Publications, Wyatt tells Liam they should ask Hope to do a photo shoot on the pieces she took to the buyers and tease it internationally. He offered to be point man on this if he wants to keep his distance from Thomas. Liam grumbles that Hope and Thomas' relationship is more than a work one. Wyatt gawps and Liam clarifies that they're also co-parents. Wyatt questions if he can trust the situation. At Forrester, Hope and Thomas work on a gown that is being worn by a model. Hope flashes to hugging Thomas in San Francisco. Thomas asks, "Hope?" She apologizes for being in her head. The model tells them how great they work together. Hope says the line is her heart, and it feels like it's beating again, stronger than ever. After the model's gone, Brooke eavesdrops at the door as Hope says to Thomas, "You know who else is thrilled about us working together again?" Thomas guesses Douglas, and Hope titters that he's always wanted to see them happy. Thomas agrees it's what he's always wanted. Hope can't blame him. They reflect on having been in a good place lately. Hope says it's a wonderful thing. Brooke looks suspicious. At Spencer Publications, Liam goes over how happy he was to see Hope get home after her trip. She seemed concerned because she knew how much the situation upset him. Wyatt is glad she understands why. Liam doesn't think Hope has ever been so passionate. Wyatt urges him to continue reaping the benefits and stop letting Thomas dominate his thoughts. Liam complains he's there all the time and he doesn't trust him. He trusts Hope, but he keeps thinking she's overcompensating for spending time with Thomas, knowing how he feels about it. Suddenly, Liam says, "I'll be back." He needs to look into Thomas' eyes after the trip to San Francisco and get a vibe. At Forrester, Brooke interrupts Thomas and Hope, who asks how long she's been standing there. Brooke says she listened long enough to learn how well they're getting along. They go over Douglas being happy about it. Brooke heard they almost got stranded in San Francisco. Thomas says luckily the pilot was able to fix the jet and Hope was able to get back to Liam and the kids. She was really worried about that. Brooke narrows her eyes suspiciously and Hope notices. Thomas excuses himself to go to the design office. Once alone, Hope asks her mother, "What is it?" "You've been practically burning a hole in me since you walked in. What's on your mind?" Brooke says that's what she wants to know. "What's on your mind, sweetheart?" In the design office, Thomas is working when Liam knocks and comes in. Thomas tells him Hope is across the hall with her mom. Liam's there to see him. Thomas guesses he's not there to congratulate him on the success of the line. Liam shrugs, "Why not?" Thomas asks, "Really?" Liam recaps how he helped with the resurgence of the line. Thomas gives credit due to Hope and Zind. Liam thinks modesty must be part of the new and improved Thomas. Thomas assures him he's changed, whether he believes it or not. Liam asks Thomas to put himself in his shoes. If their roles were reversed, would he ever trust him again? In the main office, Brooke reminds Hope she has an incredible life with Liam and the kids and her line. She should be proud of the person she's become, in spite of me. Brooke asks, "Why would you want to be like me?" "You shouldn't be like me." Hope doesn't understand where this is all coming from. Brooke recognizes some signs that concern her. It's the closeness and connection she has with Thomas. It's the way you look at him. She has to ask again, "Is there something going on with you and Thomas?" In the design office, Thomas thinks Liam's visit is about San Francisco. The two of them almost being stranded brought up old memories. Liam says, "Well, yeah, Thomas." Thomas insists he's changed and explains why they had to go. Liam explains that he can't buy the changed man's story, and he doubts he will ever be able to let his guard down. Thomas says fine. But he has nothing to worry about. Not me, not Hope, and not your marriage. This irks Liam. In the main office, Hope goes on to her mother about what a great team she and Thomas make. Brooke worries that Thomas may not have changed, but instead just got better at his manipulation. Hope insists there's nothing to worry about. Brooke thinks Thomas would have come up with a scheme to share a room with her if they had to stay out of town. Hope denies that's true and rants about how amazing he's been. "I trust Thomas. Brooke narrows her eyes. You have a lot of nice things to say about Thomas. She tells her daughter if he's doing things that are inappropriate, she needs to know. Brooke knows he's a great designer, but if they're working so closely together and he's coming on to her, no fashion line is worth risking her family over. She vows to get him out of there if he's up to something, and Hope finally explodes. Mom, it's not Thomas, it's me. Okay, it's my feelings for him. It's not him. Thomas walks up to the door as Brooke tells Hope, you know what kind of person Thomas is. Hope replies, yes, he is mentally unstable and manipulative, and I don't want anything to do with him. Brooke replies, but you just said. Hope says nothing can ever happen between her and Thomas. Nothing ever will happen. And that's the end of the story. Can you please just leave me alone? Brooke's scared too, but Hope says she's fine. She's going home to her husband but needs a moment alone. You have nothing to be concerned about. My head is on straight. I promise. Thomas ducks away as Brooke leaves. Entering the office, Thomas looks crestfallen. Hope moans, oh, Thomas, did you hear that? She cries, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean that. You've changed, and that's not who you are anymore. I believe that. She depends on him and doesn't think that about him. I think the opposite. Wiping tears, she pleads with him to believe her. I'm sorry.